Everyone, Chu here. Today we are going through each of the 13 web exploits that occurred on Wemerator, the hacking competition we had on Saturday. Now, each of these are exploits designed to be bad, Normally, these are the things you want to avoid when you're making a website. Now, right off the bat, I have to do this with localhost because the web server isn't running and I can't figure out how to run it. Oopsie daisy. So we're going to do that localhost, but that doesn't really affect us. One of the main things was that it was using HTTP instead of HTTPS, a secure seal, which means that the site was vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attacks. All traffic was unencrypted. Anyone could just snoop on your interactions and see it. And definitely one thing you want to avoid. Now the second thing was the cookies up here. This website uses cookies to ensure security and stability. So, okay, what are these cookies? We'll go back to that in just a second, though. So let's go ahead and head on over to login. We want to log into the website. Right off the bat, we have a login page. Very simple, very interesting. If you type in a username, let's just put some nonsense here, and we type in a password. We see our second exploit. Or not really an exploit, it's kind of a bug. The password box is uncensored. Now, normally you want to censor the password box just in case people behind you are looking, so they don't just see you typing in your very secure password. That's not good at all. And number 3 is this Captcha here. This Captcha is very annoying to do. So if we go ahead and inspect element on this please solve Captcha here, and go ahead and open up the web inspector here, and go ahead and select the button. We can go ahead and just remove the disabled on this button, which re-enables the button for us. And then we need to click on please solve Captcha, and it works just fine. It doesn't verify the Captcha at all. It doesn't really matter if you do it. So, very unnecessary. Okay, so now when you try it, it says an error occurred, please report to an admin. Okay, so who is the admin? We don't really know who the admin is yet. However, we can become the admin. Remember those cookies from before that ensures security and stability? Let's go ahead and head on back to the web inspector and go on over to the storage tab here. And cookies, localhost cookies. So right here we have admin set to false. If you go ahead and set this to true by document.cookie admin true, and refresh, see that admin is now set to true, which means that we are now officially considered an admin to the web server. Going through that refresh, and now it says, please sign in, admin. Okay, so let's try some SQL injection. So now that we're back on the admin page, we are now considered an admin to the web server. Let's go ahead and type in some SQL injection here, the username, random password because it's required, or is it? Verify credentials, and look at that. Alright, right here. So it tells you right here. An error occurred SQL response, and it just gives you the response of the SQL injection. And that's not very secure. However, this only appears to admin, so at least they tried a bit. Let's see here. As you can tell, we have username and password. So right off the bat, it tells us the password, which is an exploit. And second of all, the password is unencrypted, which means that we can just steal the password right off the bat. Normally, if we could just get the password response, it'd be encrypted, and it's not useful at all. But here we just have it, and we can just try their thing at will. Let's go ahead and type in bodyboy password oye blah blah blah, or whatever that is. I don't know. It's bodyboy backwards. It's very secure password. Please solve Captcha, sure. Aha. You fool, you absolutely do. Bots are API only. Imagine blah blah blah. So right off the bat, bots can only be used in the API. Now another exploit is that it's going to go to the register page. So it says registration is not open right now. Or is it? Let's head on back to the web inspector. So right off the bat here, let's go to body, and as you can tell, there's a form right here that just is hidden. Let's edit HTML here, get rid of this. Let's go ahead and add a submit button as well because that's not there. And click out of it. Cool. Get rid of the web inspector. So now you see we have a registration form. Let's go ahead and give a username, Billy, password, Dilly, for example. Submit. And there you go. We are now registered and we are in the database. Very cool. So that's an exploit right there. You shouldn't be able to register even if registration is quote-unquote closed. But yeah, click to go back here. Let's go back to login. And let's try logging in as Billy. But let's do an invalid username. And as you can tell here, it returns Billy's row in the database. Username Billy, password Dilly. So now if you try to log in as Billy Dilly, it would work, but I'm not going to because we don't really need to. Very insecure there. Let's head on over to recent memes. We are still set to admin in the API. And let's go ahead and go to the meme ID. This is the only meme we have here. Let's see. It looks like it's just a picture of someone taking a picture of the Rails root folder, and there's a secret.txt there. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit the file here. Okay, so let's try saving the caption as is. Save settings. Set caption to UG. Development is hard. Command not found. Now, if you know anything about Linux, if you type an invalid command into the terminal, it's going to tell you that it's not a valid command. So let's use that knowledge and try and list everything in the directory. Save settings. Oh, look at that. Set caption to, and then just the response of ls. Now, this is what you call a command injection. This is also very insecure, and you want to avoid this at all costs. So let's try opening the secret.txt by using cat secret.txt. That's what the meow is for. Save settings. You found the secret. There's nothing here, though we should say robots aren't allowed to access the site. How would they know that? Now, robots are really considered crawlers and spiders. Now, the first page they go to is the robots.txt. And inside this file here, we just have some disallows and stuff here. And we have this disallow profile, whatever that is. Let's go ahead and put this on the back burner for later. We might need this eventually. Let's go ahead and head on back to the home page. Now let's go ahead and check out the API. So right at the back here, we have that all endpoints are rooted at this URL, and we just have get profile username. So if we just decided to go here, API profile, let's go to body boy. It's going to say it's not valid because we haven't set an authorization header. So that means we need to go to a HTTP client. So I'm going to go ahead and use Postman for this. And Postman is an HTTP REST client, and you can do all your stuff here too. People have been using RecBin, which works as well. It's the same general concept. So let's go ahead and edit our request URL, which is just going to be localhost because the web servers are running. I don't know why. So let's go to API profile, and then we'll put the profile name. So for the profile, let's put body boy. And we're going to get the same response because we haven't set any headers yet. Auth not valid. Now, if you remember back on the auth page, it says you need some authorization. The auth key is simply your password. So we need to set a header called authorization. And then the password is the body boy's password, which is just, and you can see that we have user ID, staff, verified pro bot, admin, username, basically the whole database that we just saw with the SQL injection earlier. You can see admin is set to 0, which means that's not the admin account. So we have to figure out what the admin account is. Now next up is if you remember how we got the admin password before, we can just pretty much do the same thing again. So if you go to our cookies, admin, and just set this to true, and save, and leave, and send. We also have the password as well, which will be very useful when we get the admin username, and maybe we'll get the admin password as well. Except let's go to an invalid page here. Let's see, I went to and as you can see here, this gives us the whole response of the server. And normally when you go to a 404 page, it tells you, hey, this page is not found. Now the reason this shows up is because this is in Rails development mode, which means it gives you error responses, it gives you caches, it doesn't cache stuff, it gives you all the routes and all that. And every time an error occurs, you get the whole secret, you get the whole backend response as well, because it's telling you the stack trace of where to find the bug and where to fix it. The way to fix that is to just set the environment to production, but they didn't do that. So let's go, speaking of these routes, let's go ahead and check out this one right here, partners. And this is a little secret page that's not really listed anywhere. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we have two partners here. We have Ruby on Rails, which just leads you to the securing Rails applications. If you want to, this was really as a hint. And this second one here is we use Crypty for various encryptions. You should check them out. So if we open this, you can see we have this. Now, there's quite a lot of encryptions here. And if we go back to our robots.txt, we have this. We didn't really give any hints as to actually how to get here, but the actual cipher is this one. We have to decode the admin username. That's not the admin username. This is the admin username. And the key is body boy backwards as well. And we get the text as Marshall the shell. Now this is the admin username. So if you go on over back to the API here, boop, and type in this again as the parameter, boop, we get the admin password. Now if we try to put this into our Now if we try to put this into our login page, and there we go. We solved it. We can go to the form. Congratulations, we won. That wasn't all the exploits too. There was a few other ones as well. Let's go back to register and open up that form again. So now if we type in the same username as we did before, Billy, and let's do a different password. Let's try Billy as in Jilly. And as you can tell, it still let me register even though Billy was taken. Let's go back again and let's try Randy, but with the password of Jilly. Now this won't work because Jilly is already a password for another user. Now usually the username is unique and everyone can have the same password if they wanted to. So this is both backwards and insecure because now you know that someone's password is Jilly. Let's create an account named BodyBoy and let's try JHJH so you can remember it. Okay, so now we have BodyBoy JHJH as a login. Let's go ahead and set the admin cookie back to false as well. We have another exploit to point out. In addition to usernames not being unique, if you're here to sign in as BodyBoy, please solve caption, nope. So now we are signing in as BodyBoy and we are not an admin. So, if you go to recent memes, in the scene here, we can edit the meme as well, because technically we own the meme, because it goes by username and not by user ID per se. So even though we're not an admin, we can still edit this meme and do whatever we want as well. And that's another exploit, as a result of the usernames not being unique. That will have to do it. If y'all enjoyed having fun with it, then that's cool. If you enjoyed, please let us know how we can improve it. I mean, I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope y'all had a lot of fun doing it. Hopefully it wasn't too hard. I think we tried to be a little bit nice with the hints as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching. See you tomorrow.